students. So today we will start the chapter that is 5 kingdom classification. This is the second chapter of NCERT, and in this video we will try to cover the whole topic of the NCERT. And now first thing is 5 kingdom classification is proposed by whom? The 5 kingdom classification is proposed by scientist R.H. Whittaker in 1869. And then what are those 5 kingdoms in this 5 kingdom classification? The 5 kingdoms are, number 1 is kingdom Monera, then kingdom Protista, then kingdom Fungi, then kingdom Plantae, and number 5th is kingdom Animalia. So in this video we are going to discuss about the kingdom Monera. Here we will cover the topics like the general features of the Monera, the classification of the Monera, and the shapes of the Monera. So first thing is, what is Monera? Monera is nothing but the unicellular organisms, and they are mostly primitive. So that means what? They are prokaryotes. Prokaryotes means we all know that prokaryotes mean the primitive organism. So Monera are the one of them. So bacteria, these are the part of the Monera, and they are the primitive organism. Why? Because they don't have proper membrane bound cell organelle. Most importantly, they don't have a proper nucleus as well. So this is the main thing. Now, on the basis of the shape, we can classify the bacteria as well. And on the basis of the shapes are, first one is, if we'll see any round kind of shaped bacteria, then this kind of bacteria is called cocky. If we are seeing this kind of rod shape in any bacteria, this rod shaped bacteria are mostly called as bacilli. Next, if we will see in any bacteria, if the spiral kind of structures are present, then this is called spirillum. And lastly, if we will see if any comma-shaped bacteria are present over there, this kind of bacteria are called vibrio. So on the basis of the shape, also we can classify the bacteria. Okay. So now come to the next part, that is the classification of Monera. So on the basis of the formation, means the bacteria which come first and which come later, on the basis of that we can classify it into two types. One is Archaebacteria, another one is Eubacteria. So the first thing is Archaebacteria. Archaebacteria are the ancient bacteria. Why is it called the ancient bacteria? Because this kind of bacteria has come first in the world, and they don't have the proper structure like a bacteria. But they are bacteria because they are primitive, they don't have membrane bound organelles, and they are microscopic. But they don't have the developed structure like the bacteria of nowadays. So now the thing is what? That is why they are called an ancient and the primitive bacteria as well. Now on the basis of their locations, we can classify the Archaebacteria into three types. The three types are, number 1, methanogens, then halophiles, and thermoacidophile. So as this Archaebacteria has come earlier, at that time the condition of the world was very harsh, right? So at that time also they are somehow able to survive in that temperature or in that conditions. So that means what? They should have some what can I say? They should have some the rigid structure in their body, right? And because of that rigidity and because of their specialized structure, they are able to survive in the extreme conditions. Because at the starting of the earth, the conditions were too extreme. If either it is too icy cold or it is too hot. So on the basis of that, somehow they have survived in the conditions. So now the first one is methanogens. So the methanogens we can found in the marshy areas and as well in the gut of the ruminant animals. Ruminant animals means what? The cows, buffaloes, mostly the cattle. And why they are called the ruminant animals? Because they are having the 4 chambers in their stomach and one of the chamber is called ruminant. So that is why this is also called the ruminant animals. Now the thing is what? These animals are found in the marshy areas, the damp areas. Okay. And why their name is methanogens? Because they are capable of production of methane gas. So that is why their name is methanogen. Okay. And why we have studied about this kind of organisms? Because first of all, this methane gas is highly important for generation of the biogas. Okay. So on the basis of our requirement, we are researching on the bacteria. We are also researching if the bacteria is harmful, then we are researching on that bacteria to develop the antibiotics or the vaccine against that. If it is helpful for us, then we are researching for that in what way it can help us. Okay, so that is why the scientists are continuously researching on the bacteria. And in this case, the methanogens are capable of the methane gas. Now the next one is halophiles. Okay, one more thing is the philes means loving and halo means salt. So the bacteria which are having the love for the salt means they want to love and they want to live in the salt. That bacteria is called the halophiles. So these halophiles we mostly found in the salty or the saline water. Means in the marine water we mostly find the halophiles. Next one is the thermoacidophiles. From the name of thermoacidophiles we can understand the bacteria which is having the love for the high temperature as well as the low pH. So that bacteria is called the thermoacidophiles, and this kind of bacteria is mostly found in the hot spring. Okay. So this is all about the Archaebacteria. Now, after Archaebacteria, the next bacteria is Eubacteria. So the name Eu means fruit. So that means what? The bacteria which are having all the requirements or all the things that is need to form the bacteria. If it is present in any bacteria, that bacteria is called the Eubacteria. And in the Eubacteria, they are having the rigid cell wall, unlike the Archaebacteria. And this is comparatively more developed than the Archaebacteria. Okay? And their cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. Okay? Now, we can classify these Eubacteria also on the basis of their nutritional requirements. So, on the basis of their nutritional requirement, we are classifying the Eubacteria into 2 types. What are they? One is autotrophic another one is heterotrophic. So first one is autotrophic. Auto means self and trophic means nutrition. So when the organism is capable of formation of food by themselves only, they are called as the autotrophic nutrition. Okay, clear? Now, in the autotrophic nutritional mode, there are 2 different types of organisms. What are they? One is photoautotrophic, another one is chemoautotrophic. So first thing is what is photoautotrophic, right? So first we will write the autotrophic organisms are 2 types. One is photoautotrophic another one is chemoautotrophic. Okay, so photoautotrophic means what? Auto means I have already told you that is the organism which is capable of production of their food by themselves only, but here they are utilizing the light energy. Photo means the light. So when the organism is capable of production of food by utilizing the light, they are called as photoautotropic organism. Okay. Now there is one more organism, that is chemoautotropic. Chemoautotropic means what? In this case also organism is capable of production of their own food, but here they are not utilizing the light energy. Instead of light energy, they are utilizing the inorganic sources like the nitrites, ammonia, nitrate, this kind of things, and they are oxidizing these materials to produce the energy, and with the help of the energy they are capable of formation of ATP, and ATP is the energy currency for us. Not only for us, for the bacteria also, because ATP gives us huge energy to do our work on day-to-day basis. Okay, so that is also important for the bacteria. So that is why they also need to produce the ATP, and this is how they are capable of production of ATP. Clear? So these are the nutritional. Next one is heterotrophic. In this case, the heterotrophic nutritional mode also again we can classify into two parts. One is saprophytic, another one is pathogenic. Saprophytic means what? When the organisms are taking the nutrition from the dead and decayed matter. Means the organism is already dead or it is already destroyed. So when the organisms are taking the nutrition from the decayed matter, at that time that organisms are called the saprophytic organism, and the nutritional mode is called saprophytic nutrition. And pathogen means what? When the organism is causing disease in the host body, that organisms are the pathogenic organisms. Okay, so pathogenic organisms, there are few examples of the pathogenic organisms like the Vibrio cholerae, Salmonella typhi. These are causing the disease inside of our body, so that is why they are called the pathogenic. Okay, clear up to this? Now the next part is reproduction in bacteria or reproduction in Monera. Reproduction. Re means what? Repetitive, and production means formation. So when the organism is capable of forming the organism like them only, at that time that thing is called, or that process is called reproduction. Okay. So here the Monera is already a simplified organism. They are mostly unicellular or prokaryotes. So that means what? They don't have the compartmentalization or different organs for the different functions. Okay, so they are possessing very simplified method of reproduction, and what are they? First one is binary fission. So in a very simple way I am telling you, what do you mean by binary fission? Bi means what? Bi means two, and fission means division. So when from one organism it is divided into two organisms to new individual organism, that process is called binary fission, and it is looking like this. One organism divided into two organisms. From this again 2 to there will be the 4 organisms. So this is how they are increasing their number, because reproduction means the continuity of life. We need to continuation of the species just to maintain the species consistency. So here the bacteria is also continuously reproducing for the survival, right? So that is why they are performing the binary fission. And then they also can perform the spore formation. Next one is spore formation. So with the help of the spore formation also they can survive very easily in the harsh condition, because I have already told you Archaebacteria is present in the harsh condition. So if at that time they become very soft or they become very delicate, at at that time it is not very easy for the survive in that condition. For that reason they are performing the spore formation. So in that case there is a hard outer covering will be present on the bacteria, and that hard outer covering will provide the protection to the genetic material of the bacteria from the external harsh condition. Okay, and sometimes also bacteria we can say a sort of sexual reproduction, because why we are saying a sort of sexual reproduction, because they don't have the sexual organs, so they cannot participate sexually like the human beings or the developed animals like the cow, dog, right? But somehow they are doing that. Means what? They are just transferring their DNA to the next DNA. And DNA means we know the genetic material, right? So when they are transferring the genetic material from one bacteria to another bacteria, this kind of reproduction we can say this is sort of sexual reproduction for the kingdom Monera. Clear? Okay. The last topic of this video is Mycoplasma, and Mycoplasma is also one of the important bacteria. Okay, so now the thing is Mycoplasma. So in the case of the Mycoplasma, they don't have the rigid cell wall like the Eubacteria. Instead of that, they are having the lipids layer. Okay. And this Mycoplasma is a pathogenic bacteria because it can cause the disease inside of the animals. It can cause disease for the mammals, right? And the Mycoplasma is the smallest living cell. Okay? And this Mycoplasma is also known as PPLO. PPL. Full form of PPLO is Pleuropneumonia-like organism. You also can note it down. PPLO full form is what? Pleuropneumonia-like organism. Okay. So the full form of PPLO is Pleuropneumonia-like organism. Okay. So from this name we can understand that this PPLO basically causes the pneumonia-like diseases, and it first found in the pleural fluid of the cattle. Okay, so that is why it is called as Pleuropneumonia-like organism. Clear? So if you are having any doubt, you can comment it down below, and please like, share, and subscribe my channel. Bye bye.